All right, boom. What up, people? What up, Richmond? What up, DMV? Just coming back from a survival series. Actually, it's my first event, and this is my first recap blog. So I'm gonna give my opinion on what I think. I've been hearing a lot of recaps, and I'm in agreement with a lot of the recaps that I've been hearing. But I'm going to give my opinion on the card. First of all, I want to say shout out to Smack, shout out to Beasley, Norbs, um, Rome DMV for putting together a fire battle right here in the Richmond uh, area. Thanks for coming down, showing love, and it was a big turn up. So they see that there's a market for it here. So I think they will continue to push the brand in this area, which is a good look, being that this is where I'm from. Where I live, or whatever the case may be. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this brief. I'm gonna go through a recap of the Survival Series DMV. It was a good card, good matchups overall. First one I'm gonna start which was the first battle of the night. That one was for the bag, for the cash, for that $1,000. I Diesel versus Jade. A lot of people had Diesel losing this battle because they seen more footage on Jade. And things like that. Diesel had, I've seen on Queen of the Ring. She went up against Farrah. K Prophet. She ain't no slouch. A lot of people say they can't understand her. I understand her well. I'm a hybrid. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I'm from New York, but I've been down here in Richmond for a good little while. But what I'm saying is that she really did what she was supposed to do. She showed up 3 consistent rounds, and no stutters, no chokes, and she did her thing. So she did she performed, and she did what she was supposed to do. She showed up. Jade, now I think the metaphors was there, the punchlines and stuff was there, but it was just something. It was kind of lackluster because I believe that she just didn't perform it out good enough. She didn't deliver it well. It was almost if, like, not to say that she doesn't write her own material. It was almost like if somebody else wrote it for her and she was just reciting it. I think if you're going to take time to write fire material, use that energy to perfect the performance of it. You understand what I'm saying? You could tell when a person hadn't really, took no time to rehearse and, to master their stuff. You just think of like a rapper or something. He writes his verse and then you go in the studio and you put it on wax. You know what I mean? You can't bring this demo material. You got to come through with a fully polished 3 rounds. If you talking about moving up the rate, now I ain't taking up from Jade, but she clearly got 3-0'd in this one. You know what I mean? And my next one, this was the battle right here that I was from the jump calling battle of the night, because I seen these two guys perform. A lot of people say, they didn't know him, they didn't see him, or whatever the case may be. They can't necessarily say that about Snake Eyes. He has been on URL before. He has battled in the 2-on-2s with him and Dougie and stuff like that. But it was Snake Eyes and Mac Mel. Now, I like Mac Mel. You know what I'm saying? He comes with that energy. He's a performer. He got bars. He's a polished individual. You know what I mean? And he was cooking. Snake Eyes is a beast. Snake Eyes is fire. Snake Eyes, he got bars. He also has performance or whatever. I don't think his performance was on 100 tonight per se, but I give it to this one right here. I give it to I'm not mad if I give it to Snake Eyes 2-1, but I don't know. I can say it's kind of hard to judge it right now. If the first, I mean, I was at the event, but I'm just saying. But all right, 2-1 either way. I'm gonna call this one 2-1 either way. Both of them did their thing. You understand what I'm saying? Now jumping and moving into the next battle, which was I'm gonna go with Prep versus Franchise. Man, this wasn't a good look for Prep, man. Prep came off a good battle. You know what I'm saying? Franchise kind of, he battled a guy. What was his name? Joe, or whatever the case. You know, he didn't turn out so well in that, but I feel like he got something to prove to this this real crowd, being a Canadian dude. You know what I'm saying? So, man, yo, franchise did his thing. Franchise did his thing. You hear me? Prep. I don't know what to say about you, man. You talking about Rich Dollars, man. You might be revisiting that man. You know what I mean? You might be revisiting Rich Dollars. You know, I mean, he didn't kill you per se, but I mean, it was just a lackluster performance, my man. I think you be better off with some better material or some different material. You got good material, but it's like, you know, you dressing like, the dress and the talk don't go together, my man. You gotta do something different. He already talking about. I seen pardon me, with the moving of the camera and all that, but he's talking about giving it up. He said he might take one more battle. I seen, when he did a recap, shout out to Hip Hop Is Real. He's saying, he might do one more and give it up, or whatever the case may be, going to acting or making music. Well, more power to you than whatever you decide to do. You know what I'm saying? So on that one, I got franchise 3-0 on that one. All right, boom. Boom. What my man Jerry West say? You say boom like a Brooklyn nigga. But anyway, so next one is Mr. Wavy versus Twerk. Yo. I was just like, I'm guilty just like everybody else. I had Twerk winning this. Now, originally I'm from Brooklyn, so no bias. I ain't gonna go with Mr. Wavy because he from Brooklyn or whatever. I don't know Mr. Wavy. I don't know Twerk, you know what I'm saying? But I seen these guys work, you understand what I'm saying? It's been a while since I seen Mr. Wavy in the ring, but I have seen Twerk, and I can't say that Son does his thing. He really doesn't, you know what I mean? But what I'm gonna say today, that I believe Mr. Wavy edged him on every round. You understand what I'm saying? He clearly took the second. He edged him in the first, and edged him in the third. He clearly took the second. He took the second because Twerk decided, that in the second that he was just gonna cut his round short. And I've seen previous blogs, previous to the battle coming out, where Twerk said he hadn't started writing and stuff like that, and he wasn't taking it serious. And I believe that as a professional, you know what I'm saying, if you sign a line and you accept the cash, and you need to take these things seriously, because if you're not going to take it serious, then don't take the battle. You understand what I'm saying? Or he said he kind of slept on Wavy a little bit. Now, I don't think Wavy is somebody to sleep on. It's almost like football. Any given Sunday, these guys can show up and do their thing. You understand what I'm saying? So don't ever sleep on an opponent. I don't care who it is. Especially if they coming off a loss, because they can easily just come back and bite your head off. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, cool. I got Wavy taking that 2-1, possibly 3-0. Yeah. All right. Now Moon versus Young X. You got the old man. I keep moving because I got all this light over here, so over there, you know what I'm saying? So, trying to get a good angle here, you know what I mean? So, all right, check it out. Still talking about the Survivor Series DMV Richmond, what up? So, we had, let me see, Moon versus Young X is what I was talking about, right? All right, boom. This was an entertainment battle for me. I was calling it that at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? This battle is for entertainment purposes only. But my man Moon came through with 3 solid rounds. You know what I'm saying? He came through with 3 solid rounds. He did his thing. He was talking that talk like he always do. The old man with the cold hand. Shout out to the old man with the cold hand. You understand what I'm saying? But he's still doing his thing. A lot of people may say he's too old. I say no, he ain't, man. Look at Head Ice. You know what I mean? Look at the Hove. Hove still putting out albums. He almost 50. You dig? But my man does his thing, so give him thanks for, they give him smacking him, giving him that look, you know what I mean? And he doing his thing, he been doing his numbers, he battled E Hart, whatever, he talk his talk, he do what he do. And Moon do what he do. Moon is excuse me, pardon me, Young X. Young X is a very entertaining dude, man. He'll have you laughing with the get-ems, and he came through. He was excited. Had a lot of energy, man. He did his thing, man. So shout out to both of them, man. I don't know really how to call this one, but I believe he did what he was supposed to do. He did what he was supposed to do. Both of them, this is one of the ones that I'm not going to necessarily call. I feel like it was a show that was put on, something like theatrics. So that's what I'm gonna leave it at. Then we went on to the next one, which was Ryder and Prez Mafia. Now, if you understand bars and stuff like that, you know that Prez Mafia did put on a performance. I seen Jay Murder on the background bigging him up, like show my man some love and stuff like that, because he was spitting some bars, but it wasn't enough for what Ryder came through. Ryder really showed improved. He was in his bag, and I was looking at him, when he came in that night, he was, he had this focused look on his face, he had this Grim Reaper hoodie on, and he was focused like I came to work, what I mean, like a guy that punched in, ready to work, that's what he did. He punched in, and he was ready to work, he was ready to do his thing, and that's what he did his numbers, and I got him definitely taking that 3-0, not saying that Prez was a slouch, because Prez definitely did his thing, but, Ryder just, it wasn't nothing lackluster about it, it was full of energy, and he did his thing. He did what he was supposed to do. He showed up, and he showed out, and I don't know what people expected, probably because they hadn't really seen him by himself in a while. Last battle I think he had was a 2-on-2 or whatever, and he did his thing, and I agree with I feel like sometimes when you don't take battles, you look at prime example like Mr. Wavy. He hadn't had one in a while, and Ryder hadn't had one in a while on their own, and he showed up. He showed up, and he didn't just show up. He showed out. All right, next one is kind of move through this quick. Holmesy the God and Craig Lamar. First of all, I was shocked on Craig Lamar's first round. I know Holmesy is a bar heavy dude. He talks that talk, you know what I mean? And I say, I thought it was a kind of a mismatch when I seen him going up against Craig Lamar. But Craig Lamar definitely, did his thing in the first round. I give him the first round. I give Holmesy edge in the second and the third. Craig Lamar kind of started out peaking, and then he kind of went down on a decline. Not saying he was trash or whatever the case may be. He was never trash in even one of the rounds or whatever the case may be. But Holmesy just, brought more to the table. Them guys, he has a nice pen. Most of the crew does. Loud Boys. Shout out to Dre Dennis. Shout out to the rest of them guys. You know what I mean? Jack Boy, yeah, that's the one I'm going to next. Jack Boy Maine and Jerry West. You know what I mean? I think I like the trailer, Jerry West's trailer more than, he did his thing. He just came off it's almost like when you battle and you got to beat yourself, pause. But, when he battled T.Y., he just put on a performance, you know what I'm saying? And then, yesterday, I think he did his thing, but I don't think it was much of a performance level there as I thought it would be. I was expecting more from him as far as performance goes, and I didn't see that. But he did that. Come through with the bars. He came through with clean rounds. He don't choke. That's what I like about Jerry West. He's a professional. You understand what I'm saying? He's poised. And that's what I like about him. And he's charismatic. That's what I like about him. Now Jack Boy Main, he comes with the energy, he has his own, chemistry, his own vibe, his own way of, spitting these lyrics, spitting these bars, and he does what he does. So this one, I give it to this one's hard to call, man, but I think I got Jerry West. 2-1. I'm gonna call this one. This is another one I'm gonna call 2-1 either way off the first watch. Once I look at it again, maybe on camera, I probably have another prediction on it. And lastly, I'm gonna go out with, this was a surprise battle, which was through Chess and Glue Easy. Shout out to Cake Life. Shout out to Goonies. Glue Easy's bar heavy dude, a puncher. Chess is a puncher. Few schemes here and there, a few overheads. Young Boy's fire. He had a couple of bad battles, and he said it in his second round. I didn't watch the whole battle, so I can't really give a fuck. It's at the end of the night, everybody's tired, people hoarse and all of that, can't even talk no more. So, but I mean, for the first 2 rounds that I did see with Chess, he came through with 2 solid rounds. He didn't really choke. There was a little bit of pauses there, whatever the case may be. I don't know what's up with that, because, Chess is young for him, just not to be able to retain these bars. I don't know if he got life issues going on, whatever the case may be. Stop taking these battles if you're not ready to take them or whatever. But he did this one on the arm. He kind of showed love for, and that was a stand-up grown man move right there. He showed love and said, you know what, I'm gonna do this one for the love. From what Beasley was saying, he came down on his own dime. Put up, paid for his own hotel, this, that, and the third, whatever the case may be, and that's what's up. I think the QPs, not to bring up their names or anything like that, but I did, or anybody else, and for that matter, if you notice that you've been lackluster, you ain't been giving people their money's worth or whatever, do one for the love. That'll be, I guess, your charity battle. And I'm, signing out. I ain't, just doing my first. This is my first one. How did I do, y'all? Like, subscribe, whatever. Do Survivor Series DMV. Peace.